Hey, Perfect Spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's create a miracle in your life right here, right now. No time to delay. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I talk about getting rid of all that head trash. All that stuff that's creating stress, worry, anxiety, or maybe it's the beliefs that are stopping you that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough, dealing with depression and autoimmune diseases. They can all be attributed to this head trash. So, subscribe, like this video. Let's make it available to the world. Let's get that message out there that you are not your head trash. So today I got a comment, somebody wanting me to talk about handling criticism. Well, just realize, first of all, you have to realize when somebody giving you criticism, opinions, judgments, their beliefs, they're just projecting their own head trash onto you, their own mental stories. And yes, this does impact a lot of people because people take the opinions of others as their truth, their way of being. It just happens this way. I'm not quite sure why. Well, maybe it's this constant programming that we get. Maybe with these constant ads reminding you of something. Fear, fear, fear. So do this to stay safe. Do this to stay safe. That's sort of what the mind's main job is, to keep you safe. So when it keeps hearing this fear message, it's thinking, okay, what can I do to stay safe? Oh, they're telling me to do this, so let me go do that. And even though it doesn't really serve you, you follow that program. So when we're talking about the criticism of others, we just have to realize it's really a reminder to remember who we are. When you're feeling yourself triggered by your criticism, maybe some opinions, the beliefs of others, just in general, when you find yourself being triggered, that's basically an emotional response to that. It just simply is a clue that you are forgetting who you are, that you're identifying their story with your mental story, the head trash. And when there's a conflict in those stories, it creates an emotional charge. That's the triggering. So you have to remember that the more you're identified with your story, your identity, your personality, your race, your age, your job, your ailments, whatever that may be, when you're identified with that, this head trash, then that's who you are. In that moment, when you're identified with it, that's who you are. But we have to remember, and the whole point of Head Trash Anonymous is to help you remember who you are. You are not the mental stories. You are the soul, the spirit, the consciousness. So when you find yourself triggered, just a clue to remind you, I'm triggered, but that's not who I am. So I need to let go of that attachment of my identity, my personality. We're just attached to these labels, this identity, who we think we are in the world. Because in truth, we are the unstoppable, unlimited consciousness, perfect spirit, that we're capable of doing all things. Another way you can look at maybe criticism that may help you too is it's just simply feedback to try a different way, but not the way they're projecting at you, but feedback to try a different way within yourself. Okay, this isn't working out well because a lot of people are yelling at me. So let me look at that feedback of them yelling at me and say, okay, this isn't resonating with people. It's upsetting them. It's triggering them. How can I do this differently? But you don't want to judge or criticize yourself as well, because that's just adding more head trash to that story. You simply want to say, okay, that's feedback. Feedback me for to try it differently, to communicate differently, to try a different way of doing things. But never any judgment or criticism towards yourself, because you're always doing your best in this moment. Despite what this mind is saying, the head trash, you are doing your best based on your understanding of the situation and the awareness of the situation. If you're completely wrapped up in this, you're not very aware of who you are. So it's bringing our awareness down. The more that you're aware, the more you tuned into you, that's the flow state. So we want to try to find this way to not be so up in here and not be completely down here either, but finding that middle way. Because if you're towed down here with your spirit, your consciousness, not a whole lot gets done, because you're in a state that all is well, everything's just unfolding as it is, and you're not creating that life that you want to create. So yes, all is well in this place, but nothing really happens from this place. You need some doing energy. You need to create that life you want. And I was in this state when I healed myself. All is well. I got my spiritual center, was in this all is well state. And the spiritual center, failed because there was no resources to keep that going. So I could just be happy just sitting in my sanctuary, my spiritual center, the Don't Dwell Center, just be happy. It's like, look at this is my place. Isn't it perfect? All is well. But it wasn't generating income, resources to pay those bills, to pay the rent, to pay the electricity, snow removal, all that stuff, that there needed to be some doing energy. And that I did not have at that time. There was no doing energy. I didn't find my middle way at that point of setting these intentions, creating that life. So the better way had been like sitting in my sanctuary that all is well, but then setting the intention that I'm going to have 20, 30 people show up, and they're going to give me donations of maybe $10, $20 to keep this place going so I can help them out of this nonsense and live their best life. But whoever showed up, it was just perfect. It was one person, two, no one. All is well. Nothing happens in that place. So just realize, you're not this criticism, you're not this judgment, you're not this opinion. You just are getting triggered. And if you're getting triggered, then you're really attached to your personality, your identity. And you need to let go of that attachment. And it's not so simple as like, bam, go away attachment. It doesn't work that easily. Because you build up these years, these decades of your identity, and just suddenly for it to vanish, disappear, that's quite a shock to the system. So it's just really just chipping away at it. Oh, I really think I am this, but I'm not that. I think I am bipolar, but that's the body. I'm not the body. I'm perfect spirit. Oh, the body has multiple sclerosis. I'm not multiple sclerosis. And start unwinding those blocks. And that's really what it is, a state of unwinding the blocks that are not serving you, the identity. And it's all subtle forms of head trash. A form of head trash could be your sex, your weight, your age, but it's all nonsense, because spirit can do all things, starting right here, moving that one pebble at a time. So criticism, triggers in general, are just a reminder that you're forgetting who you are, and you're giving someone your power. You're giving away your own power. When you're identified with your head trash, you're in a disempowered state. All your power is right here, right now. And that's spirit, consciousness, soul, whatever you wish to call that. But you don't want to get hung up on those labels, those identities. It's finding that middle way for you of saying, I'm not this, I'm this. Then I'm going to create my life from here, finding my middle way, getting some doing energy. But maybe there's too much doing, too much busyness, because you're so identified with this. You're just forgetting who you are in this moment. And that's fine. There's no judgment. There's no criticism. It's just the game the mind plays. It's one of its favorite games. I got it. I lost it phase. I got it. I'm spirit. Oh, I lost it. I start to get triggered. I start to take my beliefs as my truth, taking their beliefs, their criticism as my truth. But now I know who I am. I'm perfect spirit. Whoops, I lost it again. And you just come back and forth, back and forth. It's the game we play, the I got it, I lost it phase of awakening. And it's perfect, but you want to judge and criticize yourself. You just say, oops, lost it again, let me come back. Oh, there I go again, come back. But not even there I go again, because that's even a subtle form of judgment. It's like, oh, I see you, story, but I'm spirit. I see you, story, but I'm spirit. So just be really subtle forms of criticism, of judgment. All that stuff adds up and it creates these blocks. Well, I think that's enough tips on dealing with this criticism, this judgment, these opinions of others. But it's a practice of just slowing down and remembering who we are right here, right now. And take good care of yourself. Talk to you tomorrow.